In the derby of the round, j.t.d made an incredible comeback in Zagreb, beating current champion Budućnost. Mega and Crvena Zvezda continued their winning streak, beating Monar and FMP in Laktaši. Iokea won against Krka. Cibona won in Ljubljana after overtime. And as usual, at the end of the show, we have best 5 plays of the round. Welcome to ABBA Magazine. Nenad Čanak isn't coach of Partizan anymore. Black and Whites got their third ABBA League loss in a row against Zadar and fifth in all competitions, which forced former coach of Belgrade's team to resign. Čanak spent just under a year as the head coach of Partizan and won a national cup of Radivoj Korać. Cedevita has a new coach too, after the start of the season in which they made just 1 win in 4 matches, which was deemed disappointing. Management made a decision to fire Spanish coach Sito Alonso. Croatian champions chose Slaven Rimac as his replacement. He was a part of coaching team last season as an assistant to Zdovc. Slaven Rimac's biggest coaching success to date is winning ABBA League with Cibona in 2014. After 4 losses in 4 games, Aleš Pipan and Zadar mutually terminated their contract. Management reacted quickly and signed Ante Nazor as a new head coach. This is Croatian coach's third spell with Zadar. In the meantime, in regional league, Nazor led MZT and Cibona. Filip Kraljević isn't a player of Cibona anymore. Club and player ended their contract. Center that came to Wolves from Taskanac from Zadar in 3 ABBA League games this season scored just over 3 points and 2 rebounds per game. Zadar ended their 4-loss run on away game against Partizan. Team from Croatian coastline won in Stark Arena in front about 8,000 visitors. First game since Ante Nazor's return was also the last game for Nenad Čanak as a coach of Partizan. After third loss in a row in ABBA League, Čanak resigned. Zadar won 95-85 after their best game of the season so far. At the beginning of the game, it was apparent that visitors ran out of court of Belgrade's biggest hall with extraordinary energy. That energy was most visible with rebound domination. Zadar was much better in punishing mistakes of their rival. Also, they had great percentage with early offense, while home team was unable to find defensive solutions. Partizan had rosters issues in the game. They were missing still injured Zagorac, while newcomer Brown and captain Veličković didn't get any playtime. After evenly fought first period, the home team took first bigger lead. Second period was opened by a 7-0 run for the home team, but nevertheless they failed to make advantage of their opponent's empty run. We didn't have to wait long for Zadar's response. With a 14-2 run, coach Nazor's team took back the lead. Team from Belgrade held their first lead just around 3 minutes before the end of the first half, but finish of the second period was all about Zadar. Malcolm Grant with his 8 assists and 1 made a 3-point attempt, along with captain of the team Špralja, who scored twice from the distance, gave their team +8 -8 lead. Zadar didn't look long to get to double-digit lead. Božić and Little managed to find the best solutions, and after just 2 minutes of play in the second half, they already had a +14 lead. Last serious attempt for Partizan to get back to the game was led by newcomer Stefan Janković, who with his 19 points was most efficient player for Black and Whites. But home team was unable to get any closer than -8, and the ending of the third period crushed all hopes of possible comeback. Visiting team made a 11-0 run and at one point held +23 lead. All that Partizan managed to do is to soften their loss, while Zadar deserved their first ABA League win of the season. Zadar was led by Božić scoring 27, while in Partizan with the aforementioned Janković, Page scored 16. j.t.d made a huge comeback in a derby of the round where they won 63-58. Club from Zagreb is going through a turbulent period. Change in management was followed by change of coach. Club ended the contract with Sito Alonso and brought Slaven Rimac as his replacement, and everyone is talking about who else might leave Croatian champions. Beginning of the game played in Dom Sportova suggested that j.t.d.'s agony will continue. Eric Clark led the team from Podgorica, opened the game with a 10-0 run. Home team played chaotically with lots of turnovers and individual plays that were nowhere near scoring. Current champions punished them with great distance shots in the first period, which certainly wasn't the case in the rest of the game. Aleksandar Džikic's team had 18 points lead at the end of the first period. Second period didn't brought any quality improvement with the home team, but the team from Podgorica also had offensive issues. In a game like that, visiting team easily kept their lead, and at the big break, j.t.d. scored 20 points and had a -16 deficit. First player in the home team which showed motivation was Justin Kops. He tried to decrease deficit by individual actions, but he wasn't able to do that in third period, even though Budućnost had a low shooting percentage from play and from free throw line. At the start of the last period, everything pointed that we are in for an easy win for visitors and a game that will be easily forgotten. With just over 8 minutes before the end of the game, White and Blues had comfortable +14 lead. What followed was incredible comeback stand by 5 players, out of which only Kops had played in the first part of the game. In moments when j.t.d. melted their rivals' advantage on court were Katić, Bošnjak, Ramljak and Žganec. Budućnost made mistake after mistake and in key period managed to lose 9 balls. Coach Rimac's team managed to get their first lead with just 2 minutes left to play, and Domagoj Bošnjak made a key 3-point shot, which were his only point in the game. With furious run, j.t.d. managed to score 27 points within just 8 minutes and handed current champions their second defeat. Kops scored 23 points and was the only one with double-digit points for the winning team. In Budućnost, most efficient player was Earl Clark with 17 points. In Železnik, Crvena Zvezda got their 5th win in as many games. Coach Milan Tomic's team won against FNP. Final score was 81-72, and thanks to better point difference kept top spot in front of Mega, who is also undefeated. Visiting team held the lead throughout 40 minutes, but coach Jovanovic's team showed character as they managed to get back from double-digit deficit. Once again, Red and Whites opened the game furiously, and after a 14-0 run in first minutes, visiting team got their first biggest lead. This run was led by Mohamed Faye, who made 3-point attempts and slam dunked to double-digit points. FNP had problems to find offensive rhythm. They missed shots from distance, and most of their points were made via centers. Duo Prit and Dragan Apić did their best to bring a -19 deficit at the beginning of second quarter to -8 in the same period. But Zvezda still controlled the game and went to the big break with double-digit lead. Champions of Serbia kept their lead during the third period. Once again, they had over 62-point shot percentage and over 20 assists. Team from Železnik made their rivals' most experienced players break a sweat to stop a complete comeback in the last period, FNP forced 18 turnovers from their rivals. In the game like this, they managed to get to -5 within a key period of the game, but Regland and Perperoglu made sure that we don't see exciting finish in Železnik. Faja led the league leaders with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Ognjen Dobrić, who celebrated his 24th birthday on that day, added another 13, while Perperoglu made 10 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. For FNP, Dragan Apić once again proved that he is in a great form, scoring 22 points with 7 rebounds. Reed ended his game with 15 points and 8 rebounds, while Rebec scored 13 points. Youngest team in the region, Mega Bemax, continued on their victorious round and great games. Dejan Milojević players won against Mornar in Topolica Hall in Bar. Final score was 84-80. Visiting team opened the game furiously and with the phenomenal Goga Bitadze managed to get a +17 lead in early game. Member of Georgian national team scored 17 points with 3 3-point shots made for a 29-17 lead after the first period. Champion of Montenegro played much better in the second period. Voller found his shooting form and Carrington brought pace to their game. But visiting team continued with great 3-point shooting percentage and at the 15-minute break they had +12. Uroš Luković joined the offense and Bronson Canning started to take his characteristic shots from 6.75 meter line. Mornar made a 13-0 run in the second half of third period and gets to -4. But after Mišković scored, Mega entered last period with +6. Mihajlo Pavićević team after Carrington layup got to a minimal deficit, but their rivals managed to stop them and keep the lead. Mornar threatened one last time with 90 seconds left to play after Luković scored for 80-78. At the finish of the game, Ognjen Čarapić, playmaker for visiting team, had a key role. His layup got his team to +4, and with 2 made free throws made sure his team won. Most efficient player in Mega was Bitadze with 26 points and 10 rebounds. Čarapić added another 15, while in the third defeat for Mornar this season better than the rest was Canning with 23. And Luković was double-double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. In the first game of round 5 of ABA League, Igokea made an easy win in Laktaši against Krka 91-73. Home team coach Nenad Trajković was unable to count on captain Vuk Radivojević, while we saw return of Filip Adamović. Best scorer of ABA League Tomislav Zupčić was questionable for this game due to elbow injury. He received playing against Crvena Zvezda, but he managed to play and once again most efficient player in his team. Champion of Bosnia and Herzegovina played extremely well in offense and from the first minute paved the road to an easy win. Visitors from Novo Mesto were unable to find a right rhythm and with modest shooting and rebound percentage they were just unable to parry their rivals. Krka center Jure Larić got 2 foul problems early on and played his worst game of the season. Home team twice had +20 lead and were in control for the most of the game. Simon Petrov's team played a bit better in the second half. Marinelli woke up alongside Cinac, but the lead was too big for them to be a serious threat to the rival. Igokea got their second win of the season with help from Zupčić-Lešić tandem. Member of Croatian national team scored 20 points while Serbian scored 1 less. We will add that Igokea had 27 assists, 8 of which went to Adamović. In the losing team, Cinac was better than the rest with 13 points. Cibona made a second win in a row in ABA League, which is also 6 in a row in Ljubljana against Olimpija. Final score after overtime was 80-78. Home team started the game in a better manner and held the lead for the most of the game, and their biggest lead was +10. In the second half, Cibona started playing much better in defense, while home team was without good solutions in offense. This resulted with exciting finish, but in this kind of game home team had win in their hand with +6 lead and 14 seconds left to play. Then Reli Ross scored a 3-point shot. This was followed by offensive foul by Lazic and the first 3-point of the game for Novcic, which took the game to overtime. In extra 5 minutes, team from Zagreb was better and key role in that interval had Ljubicic, who scored 7 points, including a winning point with just 4 seconds left to play. Most efficient player for the winning team was Reli Ross with 20 points, while in the losing team Begic scored 17. Zadar got their first win in Belgrade against Partizan. Most efficient player was Luka Božić. He led his team with both points and rebounds. Božić had 10 from 15 for 2 points, ended the game with 27 points. He was 1 rebound away from double-double. He had 3 steals and 2 assists. Božić had 36 index points, which brought him MVP award for 5th round of ABA League. You watched another edition of ABBA Magazine. See you all next week for round 6.